Hello and welcome to episode 4 of our Emberpelts hard mode playthrough here in update 6, cycle 5, day 2. Last time we got our beavers hydrated with the juice, and now that we're back in a temperate season, we've got the chance to actually pump some water again and make some other choices that are going to make the rest of this playthrough a little bit easier. So let's hit pause. I wonder if my keyboard was loud enough to be heard on the microphone there. And let's talk about a couple of our options here, because you guys seem to have expressed a little bit of, shall we say, enthusiasm for some strategies I wasn't really thinking were going to be possible this early. If we go ahead and go into translucent water mode, I think the biggest thing that we can do to help our beavers achieve success earlier than we would have thought possible would be to try and divert some of our bad water before it mixes with the good water here. Now, I know we do have the option of using the discharges and the rigs to block the actual sources themselves, but for right now, I don't know that that's going to be the best possible thing. What I think would be a fun thing to try would be to build up the side of this cliff and then completely block this thing off, because we have this guy and this guy that are polluting this whole thing right here. If we just manage to cut this off even just a tiny bit, that's going to force all of that bad water to come off this side or this side. And that, my friends, is going to make a huge difference in the cleanliness of the water coming through here. Because look at this. I know we have this mess here, but it can also go off the back. We can maybe a little bit less easily make our way up here and divert this, but I think this is going to be the home run thing right here. If we're able to make it work, it's going to require a decent bit of wood and planks and all that to get up here and do that. But I think that would be a fun goal for some time today. Probably not going to be able to get to it right away because we do have a lot of other stuff we have to take care of, but that's going to be a good thing for us to do. That's going to be the easiest one for us to get to initially. And also, let's not forget, if we dam this up, that's going to get our underground ruins here at least started in the process of drying out, which will take quite a long time, given how low this is in here. But I think that's what we ought to do. And of course, to get up there a little bit easier, we're going to want to have ladders, which a number of you are very, very adamant that we unlock soon as well. So I think that's going to be pretty high on the priority list, but we're not quite there yet. Today's goal, of course, is to survive, first of all, but also start to get more water pumped faster. And as much as I do love what we have going on here, we're not really in a tremendously great situation for the long-term survival of our crops or anything else. So that is going to be one of those things we have to figure out. We have plenty of pumping to get done. I will turn this water pump on as well. We'll get all 5 of these guys going as best as they can. Continue to turn some of our food into juice, and that's going to help as well keep the beavers hydrated and get all sorts of fun stuff made. But there's just so many things to do, so little time. And I am just, I'm hoping that we can get some of that done sooner rather than later. The other issue with our wood is that, well, we cut down most of the trees. In fact, we cut down pretty much all the trees with the exception of the ones that we're planting now. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit before these pine trees grow in. I'm hopeful that they will have the chance to fully grow, because these have just been planted and it is already day 2. So it's very, 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 very likely, if we don't get a bad tide, that these will only be at, like, I don't know, 80% growth by the time a drought comes in, and then they might not survive, depending on how long the drought is. So who knows? Could be a fool's errand. So I am going to, unfortunately, have to replace the rest of these that have not been planted with birch trees, just because they will grow in 9 days, and I know it's not as good of an option for wood grown per tile per day, but these might actually stand a chance of actually growing. So we'll let Tyler here do his thing, and we'll just keep on keeping on. This area too here is going to need to get that same treatment while we have the extra beavers to do it, because, you know, it's just not going to be that easy for us to do everything that we want to be doing. But we do have some options, at least in terms of drought defense. If it's a bad tide, forget it. It's over. It's over for these trees. But we can come in here with levees, and we can make a little bit, even if it's just like this thing right here. We could do a little bit of a dump in there, and that would help a little bit. But the best thing we can do right now is just to, you know, not be completely dumb about how we're using our materials, and maybe make some better choices that way. Had a couple people leave comments asking why I haven't made medium tanks yet, and that is because I forgot that these medium tanks did not require gears. That was just the assumption that I had always had. And, yeah, it's only 60 science, which, remember, we're in a mod. Things are going to be different, but I guess I've been brainwashed by the other possibilities here. So we're going to put that medium tank in there. And I'm going to go ahead and just take all of these apart so we can have those logs back. But yeah, that's going to be maybe the best possible use of our planks right now is to get water storage going and to densify it so we can put other buildings here, other stuff that we may feel more inclined to use. Now this press is going to require 5 more gears, which is why we have this guy operating. We don't have the lumber mills turned on because I'm trying to conserve the actual logs in case we need to build other stuff, like, for example, the levees that will keep this thing ready to go. But fear not, I haven't completely abandoned the idea of using this as a little bit of a water dump thing. But remember, we gotta have the materials to build it and staff it and all that fun stuff. I do think long term, that's going to be the way to go. We just have to make it work, and for right now, honestly, it probably makes more sense to just go ahead and do it. Just rip that Band-Aid off right now. But, yeah, I just... I hesitate to dump water that we can drink into here, but all things considered, probably not the worst idea we've ever had. So I do think I'm going to at least put levees here, if for no other reason than we can get across here and we can actually plant things here. And that's something that a couple people brought up in the comments as well. You guys leave really helpful comments on these videos, and I really appreciate it. Just want to make sure we acknowledge that. Some of you said, hey, put some oak trees here. And yeah, that would be a great place to do it because this shouldn't ever become contaminated. But consider apple trees in terms of not just growing apples, which every 8 days you get 5 from one tree, which is fantastic, and you can turn it into apple juice, and there's other recipes and stuff. But in 16 days, you get 3 logs. Ah, yes, the bad tide approaches. Well, we needed to do this anyway. So, I guess that's what we're going to be doing here, folks, is just building this nonsense and calling that what it's going to be here. We don't have any of these platforms researched or anything. So, yeah, that is now a super, super important priority to get taken care of. So this can just be completely closed in as best as we can, and we can end up dumping some clean water into it. But for right now, oh boy, we got to get some water pumped. Even if we end up just feeding the beavers, you know, drink liquid from whatever, wow, what a terrible way to word that. Juices from crops. Probably the correct thing to say. Yeah, so these trees are completely toast. There's no chance, absolutely no chance, that these survive anything that they're about to experience. Oh, man, that's such a shame. We're going to be in some deep, deep, deep stuff. How far does this go? Okay, well, this is going to be almost certainly completely just turbo-contaminated. If these levees are here, well, this is also going to be turbo-contaminated. But there's land here that we can plant for trees. That's like we said before. But before the bad tide warning came up, I was talking about the trees here. The apple trees are actually really good for getting logs. It kind of reminds me of, in the water beaver mod, you have those ever-blossom trees. I think those were they 14 days, maybe, to get 3 logs? But compared to, like, say, the oak, which takes 30 days and you get 8 logs, for a little bit more than half that time, you get 3 logs versus 12 12 days, you get 2 logs. So, you know, it's a little bit better. A little bit better. And you can also, you know, get something from the tree that you can actually use immediately versus the pine resin, which is only really good late game. Or, well, I guess mid-game, late game, mid-late game, whatever you want to call it. The good news is, this medium tank is in place just in time for us to not really have very much water at all going into it, which, yep, good luck. We're gonna need it. Alright, yeah, 10%. Yeah, these guys are toast. They're so toast. 8%, yep. We do have 3 days plus another little bit of time before everything gets completely polluted. But yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. So I'm just gonna take these guys out of these foresters here. There's no reason for it. No reason whatsoever to be planting these. They're gonna be just turbo dead. We do still have some time to put in water pumps, which we desperately, how many times do I have to say it, need additional water to be pumped. I just have to figure out where I'm going to pop these guys. It doesn't really matter that much. Most important thing beyond that is, you know, just having these levees taken care of, which... Oh, we actually have some water on the ground. Good. That'll get picked up pretty quick. I need to make sure these get built. I absolutely have to have these built before we worry about anything else. But if we can do the math, this is done. I need 12. I need 24. I need 36. This one's, you know... icing on the cake, but it also kind of has to exist for us to put this here, in which case I probably should have just built this across this way, but who's keeping track? So this is 36, that's another 12, that's 48. I have 56 logs right now. We also have logs on the ground, so as long as that's not counting those, because I know we have, yeah, okay, we're good. We can afford to put water pumps in place. I just have to decide, actually, you know what, I need to just shut up and build these stupid things. So for the sake of what these guys are going to be doing here, let's just super prioritize this, this, and this, and get that stuff built, because we're going to have a couple days, even after this, before the badwater gets truly heinous, to put these in place. Much rather have these guys build this levee and then get some more pumping going on with what should be just about every log we have access to right now, unfortunately. But don't forget, we can always use our inventors as sacrificial lambs for the purpose of getting additional wood. I think it's going to be possible for us to get up here without too much pain and suffering. But it's, you know, it's still going to be kind of an expensive thing, because the stairs require 4 planks and 1 log. The ladders require 6 planks and 4 logs. So while the ladders are fantastic, and we should be very glad that we're going to have access to those, it's still a whole lot to use them. Still a whole lot to use them. But since this is a bad tide, it's really not going to matter when we get up here to divert this, because there's no incentive to get any more clean water now. It's going to be whatever the minimum bad tide length is going to be, plus a couple days. So we do have some time. And if there is the off chance that, you know, some of these trees survive to be fully grown, then that's just the way it's going to go. Go ahead and give these extra beavers something to do so we don't waste their labor efforts. And I'm gonna, you know what? I can just go ahead and turn this gear workshop off, because we don't need to have it running. We got these guys doing their thing with the beet and radish juice. Probably should plant some more radishes, but that's going to come in due time. Just have to make sure these beavers are going to be in an okay spot. Also probably worth checking to see what we actually have prioritized, because I don't remember. Yeah, this is just completely toast. Oh, what fun, right? Oh, what fun. Almost finished. But getting across here is also going to allow us to put in a forester, which, yes, we do have to have the planks, but putting this guy up here, I think, is probably going to be... can I stick him here? Yeah, that's actually going to work out nicely, because he'll be able to get to all of these, and these are just going to be trees. Just going to be trees. Put that in there. Of course, we have to have a path as well, which won't be a problem, because I think I'm just going to have this go right the way across here. Of course, with the help of bridges, once we have those unlocked. Because I'd rather not use all of this for pathing. Although honestly, who am I kidding? It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I can't get anything through here anyway. So if we were to do... Yeah, alright. I know this is super suboptimal, but it is what it is. Not much we can do about it. Just let them do what they've got to do. Now let's get them in here. Finish this levee, and then immediately start getting these guys going here. This is still fine to pump until these get finished. Which could be a while yet, but yeah, let's get these going. Shouldn't be an issue at all. Actually, you know what? Let's pause that, because I'm pretty sure now they can walk across here, we're not going to need to have that corner piece done anyway. All right, let's get these guys pumping and dumping here. We do have a day and a half to get as much water pumped as we possibly can. Teamwork makes the dream work. There we go. And then I guess this is going to be maybe not today finished, but soon. Then we will have to turn this guy off, because then the concentration of bad water is only going to increase. But for the time being, we do still have access to it. For those of you wondering why I didn't make this dams, I do not want to let any more water in here at all, period, point blank. We're going to be using a water dump once we have the ability to make it make sense. Just takes time. Get these guys in here doing what they can do. And then, of course, building... Oh, we actually had planks left over. Where'd those come from? Because I have... These things are all paused. Alright, well, this guy needs to be paused. And then I guess we need to get a couple more planks made. Are we out of logs? No. Those guys are still sitting on the ground. Alright. So let's turn on the lumber mill just real quick. See if we can get anything made. Actually, this one's at 42%. Let's get them in there. It's going to be a little bit of a quicker thing. Just need to get 3 more planks. The other good thing about having the bad tide versus a drought is we can still make power, which is going to be really helpful as we're trying our best not to be completely screwed until we get somewhere else. So yeah, I maybe should have made another medium tank, but I think it's going to be much more important for us to have a forester. We can actually grow some trees without it being a huge deal. I think these are going to be beets. Yes. Beets here. So I've got, well, I actually have tons of beets. I really, honestly, should be growing more radishes. But, it's fine. It's fine. It's not really that big of a deal anyway. So how many planks? Well, I don't need to worry about it. There's nothing else we can do about this anyway. We've got this all isolated, ready to go. Now we just have to wait for all these beautiful trees to die without ever having the chance to be cut down for fabulous cash and prizes. All right, so tree-wise, I did say we're going to have some apple trees. We can get some apples. But, you know, man, I'm so conflicted. I know we just need to have wood. That's just it. So, again, the pine tree is every 6 days you get 1 log. The apple tree is every 5.3 days you get 1 log. So it is slightly better, and we're not waiting 30 days. But we are going to have some oaks ready to go. No matter what. Did we finish completely? Wow, it's almost completely full. Oh, that's for beet and radish juice, that's why. Okay, well, these guys can still hold a little bit of water, so we will let them continue going. I don't want to spend any more logs to build another one of these small tanks. As long as we can continue making beet and radish juice for the beavers to drink, we're never going to have them starve or die of thirst. 700 water, it's not a ton, but it is enough for us to be in a decent position or what I think the maximum length of a bad tide is currently. I guess we'll find out in 0.1 days when we get that thing popped in here. But what I was going to say was we are going to be growing some oaks. Keep in mind that this is going to be pretty much contaminated right to about here. So I'm going to try to make oaks there. Apple trees probably make more sense on this side. Again, I don't know exactly how far the contamination is going to reach here. Okay, only 8 days. Could definitely be a whole lot worse. That's fine, but no matter what, it is still going to kill all these trees, which is an enormous shame. How 39%? Yeah, that's just not going to work. But we are going to have some trees. So yeah, oaks here for long term. I think honestly the rest of it has to be apple trees. It just is going to make the most sense for it to be apple trees. And then of course we'll have to have a gatherer flag for the apples to be gathered, as one does. And that's pretty much all we can do. Pretty much. These guys just about full. Yeah, seems like it. But hey, look, we've got beaten radish juice, so that's cool. And then since this is only 8 days, I'm not going to feel bad about getting a fluid dump, which we should maybe actually be able to build without demolishing anything. See, I don't know, because we have such a weird problem now that I caused entirely by myself, and yes, I will own that. But we have such a problem with not having wood to where we're not really going to be able to do very much for the next 8 days. See, I had this fantastic idea, and you guys in the comments as well. Yeah, we're gonna go up here and we're gonna get this whole thing diverted, and it's gonna be so clean by the next time we have a. Look, that's just life. Sometimes stuff doesn't work out. You just have to deal with it. You just have to deal with it. But what we do have, now that this is basically impossible to pump anymore, we do have the ability to pause all the water pumps, and now we've got extra beavers. What do we do with these extra beavers, you might ask? Well, there's a number of different things we can do. First of all is ask where in the world are all of our planks going when this is paused and nothing else should be consuming planks. That's a very good question. These shouldn't be consuming them at all. The grill is consuming logs, so we should pause that. I don't want any of those to be consumed. And I don't want any more than 10 planks. Because if I have 10 planks and I have 10 logs, I can build a fluid dump and we can start actually planting some trees in other places that are not just the horseshoe. See, like right here, I know this is really, really big for a fluid dump right now, but over time, we can kind of close off an area once we actually have wood to do it with, and we'll be in pretty good shape. I've got, why do I keep having, there it goes. I guess it just reallocates it weird or something. Yeah, but I only need 10 of these. Only need 10 of them. And, oh, come on. There we go. That's paused. No more consumption. Oh, I love that sound so much. It's fantastic. No more consumption of logs for planks, anything like that. So we do actually have enough now to build a fluid dump if we feel so inclined. Before I commit to that, though, I just have to make absolutely sure that there is no reason for me to be building stairs or anything. I mean, 10 planks is only going to give me 2 stairs anyway. Or a ladder and a staircase or whatever. I really wish we could have gotten to this. There's no natural staircase or anything, but again, depending on how we want to do this, it wouldn't really be that hard. We just take advantage of our step terrain here, because remember, the stairs are cheaper. Put in like one here, one here, one here. This would have to be ladders, this would have to be ladders, and this would have to be ladders. Or if we do here and here, then that would be stairs, that would be stairs, that'd be ladders, that'd be ladder. Okay, that's actually worse. Or we could just say, you know what? Just ladders the whole thing and just come straight up here. But I do think, at least for right now, while we don't have... Wait, where's all this wood coming from? I only had like 14, or is that because I paused these guys? Or was it because I had... Ah, yeah, it was because I had logs in here. Well, that's fine. We have plenty of food for right now. It's not the end of the world. Alright. If I build a water dump, I can only really build one. Which is, it's going to be important where I put that thing. Or we could just say, you know what? Just rip all these inventors out and just go for Broek. Yeah, these are now, yep, they're dying in 12 days. They're going to be super concentrated, nasty pretty soon. What a shame. What a shame. All of this effort with these foresters gone completely to waste. That's the thing that kind of irritates me the most, honestly. Not going to get any bit here. I do have a couple of pine trees here. That's a whole 6 logs. Don't spend them all in one place. Yeah, I think for the long-term benefit of what we're doing here, it is going to be time to put a fluid dump here in the horseshoe, as people have taken to calling it. So, let's see. This would not probably be a terrible place to put it. I think over time it'll just kind of equalize. Or I could put it here. I'm just trying to avoid... Yeah, who am I kidding? We're not going to remember anything about this. Just put that there. Just be done with it. Do a little bit of fluid dumping. And then, since this is now its own thing, I can actually just get rid of this. Get rid of that water pump entirely. And then do other stuff with that space. Eventually, yes, of course, putting in more medium tanks so we can densify our water storage a little bit. But for right now, I just need to get some more water dumped in here. Again, 7 days, 750 water. It's not going to be that big of a deal. They can continue drinking the beet and radish juice. Yeah, so we'll let them do that tomorrow in-game. And then not only will that keep this from drying out, it will gradually increase the cleanliness and then give us a little bit more range to plant crops. And that's super, super important for us. Also, the clay pit's turned off so we don't consume water, but we probably are going to want clay at some point in the near future. Alright, so start dumping. I guess we'll see what happens here. I'm not really worried for right now. I probably should have a stream gauge, but I don't have the planks for it right now. We'll notice a very slow but measured improvement over time with this. And it looks like I wasn't quite right guessing what the concentration problems would be here. Maybe, as this gets a little cleaner, this will start to go back a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. But we do have some oaks growing. We have some apple trees growing. And those first couple apple trees we might end up just cutting down. We'll see what happens. All we can do now is try to figure out ways of getting up here that aren't going to involve a tremendous quantity of expenditure of resources. I think long-term, this is kind of a fool's errand trying to grow trees here with how volatile this area is. So I'm not going to feel bad getting rid of this forester. Lumberjack flags don't have anything in stock, do they? We can just leave those alone. But that'll get us some logs and some planks. And I think, friends, it's going to be about time for us to get stairs unlocked. And then, is it actually going to be cheaper? Yeah, cheaper to have ladders and stairs. All right, so ladder gang, you guys won. Stair gang, you guys also won. I guess the question then becomes, why do we have gangs about modes of vertical transport? But we can start the process of getting up to the top here. This is going to be a very, very important thing for the future of what we're working on. Just going to take some time, as we all know and love. So we are continuing to dump water. You can see that it is substantially cleaner over here. And we've got some space over here that is now plantable. And I guess, yeah, it's in range. It's in range. Let's do some radishes over here. We can have additional farmhouses at some point, but for right now, we want to take advantage of that extra space that we have, and I'm going to make this into radishes as well. Long term, we're still going to definitely want some more beets. This will be radishes just as soon as it's plantable. And look at that. Look at that. We've already made some great progress just by putting that thing in. Little tiny incremental progress, but it's definitely there. All right, now, how are we looking here? We got that ladder complete. This one's waiting on planks. So is that one. All right, so I've got 27 logs. I've got 4 days until we get clean water again. But until we get any more wood at all, except for our 6 emergency logs there. Oh, is this going to be too far for them to get over here? Well, all right. I'll tell you what. You know our favorite saying, there's no rule that says the dog can't... Well, it's actually not the favorite saying. There's no rule that says the dog can't play basketball. There's no rule that says I can't send the beavers all the way over here to grab all these trees. So, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I always forget these are here. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, you know, there's got to be a better way to do this. Got to be a better way to do this. So, lumberjack flags. I'm not going to use logs to actually build storage here, because these will hold 20 by themselves. Yeah, you know, we'll just do this. It'll give some intrepid, adventuring young beavers the journey of a lifetime to go, you know, schlep themselves all the way over there. But yeah, I think it was a good call to get the water dumped in here, because look at all this extra space we've got. So much more room for activities, and by activities I mean growing crops. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. We definitely still need to have some more radishes. Hopefully, planting additional stuff is going to make that possible. I think for right now, though, we can pretty safely and securely spend the rest of this bad tide in turbo mode. Especially once we start getting more and more trees cut down. Because then I can turn on one of these guys. Is that 9%? That's at 6%. Alright, you're elected. Alright, Chaz, get in there and do some planification for us here. So 6 more planks will get us there, and then another 4, then another 4. So, yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and build all of this, and they will erect what they can erect. We'll just go with that. That's a whole lot of stuff. Whole lot of stuff. But once we get up to the top here, just go straight the way here. Then, friends, then we can find ourselves in a very advantageous position to completely dam this up. I think our money's going to be made right here. I know we have blockages here, but there's no way for us to get down in there to remove them without the beavers getting infected, which they definitely do not want to do. So, that's going to be it, folks. That's going to be what we do here. I think I only need to have these 6 pieces put in place because it should pretty easily just go out that way. So that is going to be what we end up working with here. We'll see what happens if they're able to make that work. For right now, I think we just kind of need to let them do what they're going to do. Continue dumping our clean water in here to hopefully eventually make this a nice, very clean, relatively, space. And then in due time, partition this off with the help of some more levees to create little clean water lakes. But that's going to require additional fluid dumps, and for right now, I think this is probably okay. I am going to pause this, because that's not going to get any more polluted. It's just going to evaporate, and I don't want to use all of our water, or it's going to become a problem. These guys probably should be set to a lower priority, just in case. Yeah, look at this. We're already making some nice progress here. Wait, was that guy building from all the way down here? I don't think that's how that works, bud. I don't think that's how that works. You saw that, right? The guy was just chilling here, swinging his hammer at the rock, and then these pylons way up here started getting built. I'll tell you what we can do, now that we actually have the ability to utilize space over here, is we can put in a little pile for some logs, so that they don't have to go all the way across everything to get at it. Yeah, there's only a couple of these trees left, so I am glad that we did this. That was a very good thing. But it's not going to last forever, and we're going to be relying pretty much entirely on these guys to do all that. And yeah, you know, I think this forester also needs to go away. We're not going to feel bad about this, right? Good. Definitely not. There's nothing growing over here. These lumberjack flags can also go away. But we do have these 6 here, so you know what? We'll just go ahead and grab those. They are marked for cutting, so let them get that out of the way. And hopefully by the end of this episode, we'll have this completely diverted. I know it's not going to be by the time we get to the end of the bad tide, which, yeah, if I managed it a little bit better, we probably could have made happen. But you know how it goes. All we can do is what we can do. Well, it is very, very nice to see that we've made this much progress already. All right, cycle 6, day 1. Making it work, one piece at a time. And we still have a pretty nice amount of water. We've got a decent amount of food. I did have this pause, so we didn't consume logs. But I think it's time to turn that back on again, so we can harvest additional corn and get that all taken care of. We don't have storage for raw corn. Wait, no, we totally do. They just didn't grab it. Well, we probably need another farmhouse at this point. But I don't have the beavers to spare for it quite yet, because we're focused on getting the rest of this taken care of. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is the problem here. Oh, I didn't mark that guy. I don't know that we're going to have enough wood to actually do this all in one bit here. I don't think that's going to be possible. Which is unfortunate. But, you know, it's the way it goes. This needs 4 more planks, then I'm going to need another 12. No, they actually have these in place. Okay. So I need another 6 plus 6. That is 12. I need another 20 planks. Yeah, we can definitely make that work. And then, of course, 4 more here. But I'm optimistic that this won't overflow when... come on, let me click on this. When this goes in, I think it should be okay. See, now we have all this water coming back in here again, and I feel like I've got to get these guys back on the pumps. Oh, this one automatically turned on. I forgot I had that set up. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'll turn 2 more of those on, because they will get pulled out of the inventors here, because we don't really need that much science right now anyway. Just make this stuff work. Make it go. I don't think I need any more... or too many more planks once this is taken care of. So that just needs 6. So that's 10, and that's 14. Yep, okay. I'm going to pause that lumber mill so we can use the rest of these logs to build, hopefully, this little levee here, and we can have our first major diversion in place that will really, really increase the cleanliness and slightly decrease the flow through here, which will hopefully end up being a nice thing. Okay, so don't forget, we also want to increase our storage capacity for water, and I guess the other juices as well, once we get to that point. All in a day's work. All in a day's work. Now that this isn't going to be as polluted anymore, I kind of want to plant trees, but I'm afraid that if I do... it's going to end up being just killed immediately. But, I mean, the guy's got nothing else to do right now anyway, so... let's just, let's plant some birches. Worst comes to worst, then, not going to have to worry about it, but... we can get some up here as well. These won't ever get infected with badwater. I can tell you that much. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and get these all growing here. It's unlikely these will die. All of them will die before they can grow. Yeah, look at this, folks. Look at this. We got this stairs in place. And all we got to do is put this one in. Then they're going to build all of this fun stuff. That's going to be a fun thing to watch. Oh, yes. You love to see it. The food's still in decent shape. The water's in pretty good shape. If we're pretty sure we're going to have enough logs left over, then I guess I could start building another medium tank. But for right now, it's probably okay. I am going to turn this back on since we're pumping more water than we can really store. No reason to have them stop pumping because we can use that clean water to increase our irrigable area here. I love it when stuff actually works. It's so much more fun. So much more fun. So yeah, that's going to be really cool. I just hope we have a long enough wet season to actually enjoy this. But we'll let them do that. We don't need to sit here and watch all of it. But yeah, it's going to come time pretty soon to get that second farm in place. I'm just not exactly sure where the best place to go would be. Yeah, because we got a lot of stuff that can't really be harvested because they don't have enough manpower. Beaver power, whatever you want to call it. But I need to make sure that this stuff gets built before we worry about too much of anything else. So how are we looking water level-wise? Now, if this one goes in and it starts really getting a whole lot higher, then I think we're going to have to reconsider our strategy. But okay, it looks like it's raising a little bit. Just a tiny bit. It should start going off more that way. I don't think the amount that is being generated from these two is going to be too much higher. Oh, look at this. Okay, yeah, that's just going to flow off. Waterfall limit's not going to be an issue whatsoever. Just trying to do what we can do. These guys now have nothing left to do, so we can... Oh, I was not pressing the right button anyway. Okay. That's all done, so thank you very much for your service. And it's a drought approaching. Okay. Okay, we got 3 days. 3 days to finish this, and maybe get some more clean water through here. Because if we start a drought with this being mostly clean water, then that is going to be pretty good. And yes, I understand the irony of getting rid of the forester here right before a period where we could have possibly planted some additional trees, and then just doesn't end up working out that way. You know, sometimes, friends, that is just the way life goes. Sometimes it's just the way it goes. Now, if I put a lumberjack flag here... Oh, yeah, he can reach the entire thing. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go, bud. Put that thing right there. And then mark all of these things up here for sure as cutter downable. That's definitely a real word. Mark these. Mark those. I don't need the path marked for sure. Get those. Actually, all of this, with the exception of the apple trees, can be cut. Nice and easy. This is not going to be enough apple trees long term. I know. I know. But soon. Soon, maybe it will be. Yeah, look at us go. Look at us go. Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, that's a monumental achievement, folks. Now all this nasty water is going to flow this way, and this will slowly dry up and stop polluting this guy. We should see this get a lot cleaner. I mean a lot cleaner. That is exciting. It's like actually exciting. I guess I could have left this on triple speed. So now this is just a nasty pool that's going to eventually just dry up. But there's not as much coming through here, and now, I mean, I can't really visually tell that much of a difference, but these guys are pumping quite a bit faster. It's just very nice to see. I unfortunately don't have enough logs or material or whatever right now to really build another one of these medium tanks, because it's 20 logs and it's 30 planks. I have 5 planks. And I'm not going to take this staircase ladder thing down because we're probably going to want to have access to this stuff up here anyway at some point. And we also want to get down here when the time comes for that. But yeah, you know what? For right now, for this episode, this is a tremendous, tremendous step for us to take. I'm very excited for that. Now we just have to wait. I guess I can have this guy brought out as well. Continue dumping clean water in here. This is already such a huge improvement. Oh, okay. How desperate am I for another farmhouse? Because this takes 25 logs and I have 26. I don't think that's wise. I really don't think that's wise. Nor do I think it's necessary to plant a whole lot of extra crops when we can't even use the stuff or can't even harvest the stuff we've already planted. But I think we're looking pretty good. So, I'm looking over at OBS. I see 46 minutes just now. a little bit of that's going to be removed for loading times. But how long is our drought going to be? How long is our drought going to be? Ah, only 6 days? Okay, we can finish this. We can finish this. I was going to say, we might have to end this episode early, but no. Now, the episodes lately have been getting pretty long, and at least a couple of people have said that they're not happy with that, so I do have to keep those folks in mind. So we are going to end after this drought here, but I think we're in a really, really good position, and I am very happy that this got taken care of in advance of the next clean water cycle. Unfortunately, a drought does mean there is no more power to be had by the wheel, the water wheel at least. So we can't quite build one of these guys because it takes 100 logs. But this isn't turning, so these do have to be paused. There's no reason for those to still be going. We can keep pumping water if we really feel like it. We can keep dumping here because that's always a smart thing to do to keep this irrigated. But yeah, there's not really too much more we can do until we get more logs grown in. And we do actually have apple trees that have fully grown. So we can either cut those down, which honestly would be the smart thing to do, or... Oh, I forgot these are all apple trees. So those are already marked for cutting. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. We'll just do that. I can go ahead and put in a gather flag somewhere up here. If I were a little bit better at laying out paths, I would have been able to fit it in there, but tell you what. This tree right here is not going to be replanted. We'll just wait for that to grow. Should only be another day and a half, 2 days. We can put the gather flag there. But cutting these apple trees down is going to really, really give us some nice wood here. And we can continue building a couple things, like a second farmhouse. I know that's a really important thing for us to have access to. So once this gets turned into irrigable land, then I think it's going to be smart for us to have another farmhouse over here. But for right now, given how this stuff is laid out, see, I really didn't do a great job of putting this in a good location, did I? I think it's going to be best for us to maybe have another guy over here to handle this half of the stuff. So I will put that other farmhouse here. We have a ton of canola that currently we don't really need. This gatherer flag can easily go away. I also should stop having that be the main area where that stuff gets stored. Just remove that. Remove that. That was kind of a failed experiment there. But now we can grow a whole lot more stuff. Including if we were to put another forester over here, some more trees. But I think the trees on the island for right now is probably fine. I think that is very, very serviceable. But we're definitely going to have some more radishes. So we can have radish and beet juice. So we'll just put that stuff there. We do have a decent number of corn plants. I think we're probably okay on those guys. Beets still outpacing radishes. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Probably not a bad idea to have more tomatoes as well. Oh, just plant a whole bunch of these things. Remember, as this gets more irrigated, that's going to continue expanding, which is going to be nice. So I'll just go ahead and plant that like so. Bell peppers. Did I even plant bell peppers? I might not have. Tomatoes, beets. Click, please. No. Okay, no bell peppers. Alright, well, since we have the canola, we don't have the additional presses for it yet. But we are going to want to have bell peppers. I haven't started growing wheat. Remember that this area is going to be infected until we have the ability to build contamination barriers, which is going to require metal, which, you know, technically we have access to over here. And if I had the wherewithal to actually do it, I could have had this bridged across or whatever. But the amount of wood that this requires is just not worth it right now. Wait, hold on. Oh, this must be an Emberpelts thing. This platform made out of metal. But why? What would be the incentive for building this versus that? Unless it is a... I don't know. I'm not going to think about it too hard. Alright. So before we're finished here, let's think, I'm happy we got that done. Let's think about other storages that we might want to build for different foods. Raw corn, canola seeds, this being logs probably isn't a great spot for it. So if we get rid of that, then I have access to put in another little medium warehouse here. Then I can put another medium warehouse here. So we got corn, we got canola seeds, we got radishes, we got tomatoes, we got beets, we got those things, berries, we got grilled corn, we got grilled corn. For other raw stuff, apples I'm not really harvesting yet. Baked beets, we can't really do most of that quite yet. You know what? I came in here and I didn't even have a plan, so good job me. I guess I don't really need much storage for too much of anything else. They haven't been putting the corn in here anyway. So that's not really too much of a loss there. Well, the bell peppers require the press, and I don't have another press right now. And I don't need more than 300 canola seeds. I think that's probably fine. Honestly, I don't know what to put in here. It really shouldn't be complicated. It really should not be complicated. But somehow I have managed to make it so. Because I can't really do... I mean, I guess I need storage for apples, but that's really far away. That's super far away from when they get there. Is this even marked for cutting? Yes, it is. Okay. Alright. Well, I mean, I guess this is done well. We can't really be upset about it. We just pumped pretty much all the good water out of here, period, point blank, so that's a whole thing. There's just so much to think about. I have all these notes that I've been looking at, trying to remember what you guys suggested in the comments and not to do too many stupid things. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make a thing for grilled bell peppers because we're going to very soon have the... Wait, you know what? We can just straight up make it now. There's no rule that says we can't do that. There's no rule that says we can't do that. I just have to have another one of these grills in place. See, I get I can't even talk. I get hamstrung by myself because I think, oh, I can't do that. I don't have the stuff to do it. And then I absolutely do have the stuff to do it. I just didn't do it. So grilled bell peppers go there. There we go. Talk faster than your mouth is going to let you do it, and then you sound like an idiot. Tomatoes, radishes, grilled bell peppers. Can't do stuffed peppers yet because the recipe for stuffed peppers is in the bakery, which I need charcoal. We haven't gotten there yet. That's probably a next episode thing. And where's my storage for regular bell peppers? Do I have one? Oh, I don't. Okay. Well, well, well. Bell peppers it is. Super easy. Alright, well that solved that problem, I guess. Now we're back just about finished with Cycle 6. So, as we welcome Cycle 7, I guess it's time to do our end of episode fun here. I really appreciate you guys so much. I cannot begin to describe just how much I appreciate you and all the effort and the care that goes into making thoughtful comments and trying to analyze what we're doing. It really, really helps me out a lot to have that feedback and try to guide our playthroughs in that way. So I'm always going to be thankful for you guys who take the time to do that. Very, very thankful for the beard boosters as well, who directly subsidize the nonsense. So thank you very much if you're part of that list. Whether or not you received a gift membership or whether or not you funded it yourself or whatever, I'm glad to have you, and it's not possible without your support. So, as we move into Cycle 7, we should see all this delicious, slightly less contaminated water make its way through here now that this has been blocked off. And we are in so much of a better position than we were at the start of this episode. I am so excited to see where we're able to go next with this. So, of course, always let me know what your thoughts, ideas, so on and so forth are as we keep moving forward here. I am going to go ahead and get this lumber mill turned back on just right off the bat because we do want to have the ability to continue making planks. So we can continue making medium storages and all that good stuff. Everything just takes time, but we're going to make it. We're going to be just fine, folks. So, all of that being said, these little baby tanks can go away, and we can start filling this in with another one of these medium guys, and we're going to be in really good shape. Going to be really, really good shape. We'll do another tank over here. Probably would not be a bad choice to have. Thank you, autosave, for unclicking that. Yeah, just have this stuff all over the place so we can have more storage in different spots. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, folks. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back in this series on Wednesday. We'll be back in the apocalypse mode nightmare insanity test in tomorrow's video. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.